it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Better nice, I'm looking at the camera. Head and on, good, good, good. I want you guys to know a couple of things. One, who's nervous? Okay, good. That's my ego question. I ask that, and whoever doesn't raise their hand, then I pay attention to them all day, right? Because again, this is not that kind of environment. It's normal for you to be nervous. Perfectly normal. Even if you're good at it. I participated in a rodeo out in Savannah, Harley-Davidson. I don't do stuff like that, but I was like, I'll do it. I felt a little nervous, right? But I know that that's normal, so no big deal. The first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is the 5 stages of the friction zone. Because it's important. It's going to be relevant all day, every time you ride. And when I'm saying stuff to you and I'm just throwing numbers out at you, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. If I have my clutch, wrong hand. If I have my clutch all the way to the grip, do I have power?
No.
Okay. So that's 0 power. So who has a hydraulic clutch out here? Okay, good. Now I don't know about the BMW, but you have a Goldwing. I don't know about the Goldwing either. But on a Harley-Davidson, a hydraulic clutch is further out until you get to power. Because a cable clutch, you can kind of put it wherever you want. Some people like it as soon as they move their hand a millimeter, they have power. I don't like that. I like to have some wiggle room. But I also don't like it all the way out either. I like a happy medium. But with a hydraulic clutch, it is what it is. But the beauty of a hydraulic clutch is it's smooth as butter, right? So what I like to say is 0 is all the way in. Stage 1 is when you first start to feel the bike move, like Raphael said. That's stage 1. The distance between 0 and 1, that's what's going to differ on our motorcycles. Once we get to 1, stage 2, 3, 4, 5 is basically the more you open your hand, the higher the stages go. That's pretty much going to be the same on every motorcycle. The friction zone is not a lot of space at all. And so because it's not a lot of space, today, when you're out here riding, I should never see your hand doing this. This is too much movement. If your hand's doing this, your bike's doing this. And I know that people, when they're riding their motorcycles, they want everything smooth, flat, level, dry. You don't want any issues. Straight, yes. And so if I know that, and I know you hate the way your bike feels when you slow down, add this to it. Yeah, you're going to hate it even more. So that's what this is about. I don't want to see that. So stage 1 is when we first get power, 2, 3, 4, 5. We live, for the most part, in stage 1 and stage 2. At least that's where we should be, all right? If you go into stage 3, that's not a big deal either. But stage 4 and stage 5, I'm talking about if we're also dragging the rear brake, using the rear brake. Power to your rear wheel and the rear brake work together in harmony. They love working together. That's what keeps your bike up and nice and slow and smooth. But we don't want them to fight. And they fight when you're too high in the stages of the friction zone while dragging the rear brake. So how do I know if I'm in too high of a stage of the friction zone? 1 and 2 is where I should be. Well, what I like to do is when I first start moving the motorcycle, I'm always covering the rear brake, but I'm going to cover it. I'm not going to press it. I'm going to open my clutch up, and when my bike first starts to move, again, I'm always going to base everything I'm doing on what I'm feeling. Whatever I feel, if it's appropriate, I don't need to change anything. But if I know I want to use my brake, when I open my clutch and I feel my bike moving, now I can apply light pressure to the brake. And that's just going to help me out. What does the rear brake give us?
Control.
And?
Correction.
That question's coming up.
It's control.
Correction and control. That's what the rear brake gives us. So that means I don't need a whole bunch of it. I just need it to give me a little bit of an assist. So when I first start to move, I'm in the friction zone. I apply a little bit of pressure to the rear brake. Then I take my foot off the brake. When I take my foot off the brake, the bike should kind of gradually get faster. If it abruptly goes faster, too much clutch. That's how you test if you're in the friction zone too much, right? Now, the rear brake is going to win the battle all the time. I don't care what stage of the friction zone you're in. So if you're in stage 4, it just means you're going to have to apply more brake. That means you're making it fight. You should never have to apply a lot of brake. We good? We're good with that? Okay. So that's the 5 stages of the friction zone in a nutshell. So, CJ, if I say 2 to 1, CJ, what am I telling you to do?
Come up, use the clutch out to number 2 and immediately come back to 1.
That's right. His answer was open the clutch up to 2 and immediately come back to 1. Now, why did he say immediately? Because of the cadence in what I said. I said 2 to 1, not 2, 1.
So one of the things that I've noticed on my bike is that when I'm doing the clutch, and the 2-1 and stuff, and the rear brake,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm applying too much brake, but then when I start letting it off, the power, or trying to ride without the brake, the power of the clutch just really makes my bike go faster. So I feel myself stomping on my brake even more.
Gotcha.
To do that correct, to slow it down. So I'm still trying to find that.
Gotcha.
But
So here's what you do. You do 2 to 1. Because if you use the rear brake, you don't have to do a 2 to 1. You can do a 2 rear brake, right? And I'm going to show you why that's relevant. But so what you're doing is, what you're explaining is you're still trying to figure out where that is.
Yeah.
How you figure that out is 2 to 1. So if you open your clutch and it's too much power, immediately pull it in a little bit. You don't have to jam it with the brake. Well, it depends on what you're doing, right? But the reason why you want to get that is because once you got that, you got that. That's muscle memory. Your hand is going to remember where it should be. Speaking of that, what I want you guys to do today to get into your muscle memory, if it's not there already, most people, when they start their motorcycle, when they start to move, they start with the clutch all the way to the grip. And then when they need power, they have to find the power. The problem with that is that's wasting time. So is everybody here familiar with exercise number 3, trust and believe? You're not. Okay, you're not. Okay. That's amazing. You two are sitting right behind each other. All right. That's good. So in that exercise, when you need that power, you need it immediately, right? And that's why I always suggest to people, what I like you to do all day today is, before you move the bike, I want you to start opening your clutch up to stage 1. And when you feel stage 1 engaging, pull it right before that. So now instead of starting like this, you're starting right before that power. So if you ever feel, oh crap today, it's immediate relief for that. You don't have to do it crazy, although I expect that today, because everything you guys do when you're trying to figure this out is big. Everything's big and choppy. That's fine. Because as I often say, a lot of people buy their bikes and they don't date it, they just get married to it. You're going to be dated. You have to date your bike first so you get to know it. And these are the dating grounds, the parking lot. So when you take a date out, you might go for a slow dance. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be slow dancing. If you've never danced with your motorcycle, you're going to have 2 left feet, and that's fine. The more you dance, the better you'll get, and then you'll be smooth, right? That's the goal. That's the goal. All right. Does that answer your question?
yes.
Yeah. So all you're always doing, I'm glad she said that, because all you're always doing on the bike is trying to wait for what you feel and then addressing it appropriately. But the inputs that you put into the bike should all be smooth and small. All of our movements are small. They become big, A, when we're nervous, or B, if we wait too late to do something. So if I'm on my motorcycle riding very slowly and I feel the bike start to fall, if I address it as soon as I feel it, small movement, small movement, small movement. Rear brake. Huh?
She always says that my clutch feels completely different than hers.
His stage 1 is about here. My stage 1 is closer.
Yeah, his is out. His is out.
His is way
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, so when I first got on this bike, the first thing I do when I get on anybody's bike, I want to find out where stage 1 is so I can be right before it, because I don't want to drop this bike. Your bike's only going to drop for 2 reasons out here, and outside of something mechanical. A, you pull the clutch all the way in, which most people do because it's an instinctive thing to do, or you don't keep it loaded and it stalls. So that's what I want to do. And when I was on Rob's bike, I'm like, well, goddamn,
Yeah.
it's out there, right?
It is.
But as soon as I find out where it is, I'm good, because again, my bike has cable clutches, so I'm okay with that. All right, let's go over the 5 stages before you move the bike. What's always step number 1? Nina. Raphael. What's always step number one before you move the bike?
Step number one.
Yeah, either one of you can answer.
Find where one begins.
That's a good guess, but that's not correct.
Make sure it's the first gear.
Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Always step number one, right? And a lot of people think, well, what's the big deal? So, if you, this is going to tie in some other stuff too. If my motorcycle's right here, and I need to go either that way or this way, and you guys are right here in front of me, or it's a wall, or whatever it is, what are your options? And I don't mean what options are available to you. Based on your skill set, what are your options? Most motorcycle riders are going to back the bike up or duck walk the bike, right? What are my options and what are your options going to be moving forward? I'm just going to turn the handlebars and either go this way or go that way. And sometimes, depending on how close I am to whatever is in front of me, I might have to lean the bike right away, right from here. If I'm in the wrong gear, that's going to be a problem for me. See, so your priorities change when your skills change because your options change, right? All right. So that makes sense? Make sure the motorcycle's in first gear. Boop. Step number 2, John? Cover the rear brake. Cover, not hover. Who doesn't know what covering the rear brake means? Beautiful. It means rest your foot on it, just in case somebody was reluctant to raise their hand. Rest your foot on it. Don't press it. Just rest your foot on it. And we do that so that when we need it, we're already there. And then if we're already there, we're less likely to smash at it. But if you're going to go to it, oh crap, that's when that's going to happen. And it happened several times out here yesterday. We're doing a slow speed maneuver, the bike's moving slow, and all of a sudden somebody's bike goes and it falls over because they jam that rear brake, okay? Everything that we do on the motorcycle at slow speeds is exaggerated. Everything you feel is going to feel bigger. So little things that you do, for instance, when the story with Rob and Jenny is Jenny used to ride on the back of the bike, but Jenny couldn't keep still. So Rob told her either sit still or get your own bike. She got her own bike, right? So if she's on the back of your bike and you're going 60 miles an hour and she's kind of wiggling around, is that a big deal?
It is a big deal.
To me, it's not. Because I barely feel her moving around at 60. At 6, I feel her, right? I feel her like, what are you doing? Because at 60, the bike is just, it doesn't need either one of us. It's going to stay up, right? So I understand what you're saying. It's a big deal, but it's not, We cover the rear brakes, so if we need it, we're right there, and we can keep those movements small, the inputs small. Step number 3, Tom.
Preload and keep it loaded.
Preload and keep it loaded, guys. And keep it loaded is one of the biggest parts. Kept happening yesterday. Like I said, there's always one person that won't keep that throttle loaded. Because again, I get it though. As soon as you focus on one thing, you forget about the other thing. And I felt bad for this guy yesterday. It kept happening. Preload the throttle. Okay. Cover the rear brake. Shit. Okay. Now he forgets about the throttle. It was going back and forth. And he was like, man, I feel like I'm putting a puzzle together. Exactly. That's what this is. It's like clay, right? But the good thing is once you got it, you got it. Step number 4, anybody.
Release the clutch slowly into the...
Slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. But what I've added to that is stage 1 or stage 2. That's what I want you to release the clutch into in the friction zone. Here's why I had to change that. When does the motorcycle want to fall the most?
Stop or start.
John said it. At the very beginning of a start and the very end of a stop. That's when it wants to fall the most. That's when people hate their motorcycles the most, especially stopping, right? And the reason it wants to fall the most at those points is because that's when it's going its slowest, right? That's when it's always going its slowest. We're good on that. All right. So here I am telling people, slowly release the clutch into the friction zone. Okay, Robert. So if I'm on my motorcycle and my plan is to go straight, and I open my clutch and my handlebars start turning, what's happening there, Nina?
You open your clutch and your handlebars start turning?
Yeah, I'm trying to go straight. I open the clutch to move and the handlebars start turning. What's happening there?
Turning the bike.
Raphael?
Open the clutch a little bit too slow.
That's right. That's the start of a fall. And so I want everybody to recognize if your bike's doing that, it's because you're opening the clutch too slow, right? It's on 2 wheels. It always wants to fall 1 to 10 miles per hour. Always wants to fall. But the slower you go, the more it wants to fall. So if we're going 10 miles per hour, yeah, we're going to have a little bit of momentum. We'll be fine. Slower we go, the more it wants to fall. So at the beginning of that start, Remember, we're on 2 wheels. When you open your clutch, if you feel either way, most likely it's going to go to the left, and that's because we have our left foot down. So it's already kind of leaning that way. As soon as you feel that clutch, and you're good, or to get past that, 2, 1, or 2 rear brake. 2 is always going to make the bike stand up. What keeps the bike up at slow speeds?
Powerful throttle.
I like that. Sufficient power to the rear wheel. Sufficient power, the word sufficient is vital. Because again, if I open up the clutch and the bike starts to move, but the handlebars are turning, do I have power? Do I have power? Yes. Is it sufficient? No. So that's why sufficient power is important, the word sufficient. So I need to open up this clutch so that the bike stands up. We good? Problem is, most motorcycle riders, there's no middle. It's either speed or stop. The middle is this. And so every situation that requires the bike to move but not move fast is always too much speed. And that's why turns are so wide. Motorcycles going over double yellow lines. Because once that bike starts to move, it's inconceivable that there's something else I can do. And a lot of the times it's because these people have no concept of the rear brake. Because you can open the clutch up to 2, but use the brake at the same time. Matter of fact, let me show you something. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on Rob's bike. You know, my name's Rob too, so I'm going to get on my bike. And I'm going to go in a circle. Right? I'm going to be in stage 2 of the friction zone. And I'm going to be dragging the rear brake. And I'm going to be straight up and down. If I want to make a turn on a motorcycle with the handlebars locked, straight up, what's the fastest I can go? Anybody?
About 2, 3 miles an hour.
He says 7 or 8, 6, 3 or 4?
Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3.
About 10. Okay. Remember the question. I'm straight up. I'm not leaning. So 7 to 8, 12, 10, it's too fast. 2 miles per hour is probably the fastest I can go. Because we talked about what keeps the bike up. Sufficient power to the rear wheel. With sufficient power, what does the bike always want to do?
Stand straight up.
It wants to stand up and go straight, right? With insufficient power, what does it want to do? Those 3 things, those 3 questions right there, sum all of this up. With sufficient power, that's what keeps it up. With that power, it wants to stand up and go straight. And with insufficient power, it wants to fall. Okay, so if we know I want to be straight up and turn full lock, if I go any faster than 2, it's going to always want to straighten out. And that's what everybody does. That's why even if you start, it happened yesterday. People are sitting like this. Okay, we're going to make this left turn. We're going to start with the handlebars turn. Starting with the bars turn. Okay, go. Clutch. It's too much clutch. So, and because speed is the answer. But we know that, oh, I'm sorry, step number 5. That's right. As soon as the motorcycle starts to move, foot up. Now, yesterday I was watching Olga on her bike, and right from the start, I can see her comfort because her foot will come up like this every time. Nice and easy. I'm not putting pressure on you to do that. However you pick your foot up, you pick your foot up. There's no right or wrong. Well, that's wrong. The wrong is this. I don't want your foot behind you ever on the ground because I understand you still don't like the way it feels. So that's why you're keeping your foot down. Speaking of that, who doesn't know the push-up penalties out here? Everybody knows the push-up penalties? You don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you guys hesitating. If you don't know, raise your hand. Huh?
Front brake.
Yes, that's one of them. If we squeeze the front brake today during a slow speed maneuver, it's a 10 push-up penalty. Duck walking. We are not duck walking today. And now I have my camera set up initially when you guys were pulling in because I did say yesterday, I want to record you guys when you pull in. It tells me so much about what you need work on. And I got news for you guys. It's not like I got a bunch of different categories. It's like either this or this. And most people are in this, which is this whole thing we're going to be talking about today. So all the duck walking that you guys did today, that's it. Get it out of your system. It's for every time your foot touches the ground. And so what people kept doing, this is all voluntary, by the way. This ain't the military, right? But if we want to be accountable and try to break bad habits, we got to tie something to that. It helps, trust me. So it doesn't have to be push-ups. It could be anything. And if you are going to do them, you don't have to do them today. Conserve your energy. Do them at home. Don't ever do them. I don't care. But V.I.Preloaders do them and send me the video. And then I put it at the beginning of the next video. Disciplined V.I.Preloader. I love doing that. All right. So yesterday it kept happening. And I said it at the beginning of the class, and boom, it happened every day. People do this all the time. They go to move the bike, and as the bike starts to move, they pick up their foot, and then they do this. What is this doing for an 800-pound motorcycle? Absolutely nothing. But it's again, your instinct is still, I don't like the way something feels, foot. And that's what we got to break today, or try today. Well, today's the start of it. Everything's not going to happen today. So I ask all of you guys, I modified the question. I used to just ask people how long you've been practicing slow speed. Now I say in cones. And the number that was already low, now it's like, no, I never do it in cones. So that's good. I want you to be patient with yourselves out here today. Don't get frustrated with yourself. For most of you, this is day one. Okay? We're good? All right. So no duck walking. As I say that to you, I still expect to see it, because it's not going to change like that. It's in your instinct. But I want you guys to step outside of your comfort zone today, right? What you're dealing with today, everything's going to make you're not going to like the way it feels until you like the way it feels, okay? All right, let's trust the process. So anyway, I'm going to get on his bike. I'm going to be in a circle. Now that we know it's going to be like 2 miles per hour, I'm going to be dragging the rear brake. I'm going to be in stage 2 of the friction zone. I'm going to try to bring the bike to a stop with my feet still up. I'm still going to be in stage 2 of the friction zone. And then I want to lean the bike. So in order for me to lean, what do I have to introduce? Speed. And how am I going to get that speed? Open the clutch. But I'm not going to open the clutch. I'm going to keep the clutch in stage 2. I'm just going to come off the rear brake a little bit. Boom. Then I'm going to take my foot off the brake altogether. Now, if I take my foot off the brake, that's going to require me to be doing 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, right? Just small, you know. And I do that to show you we can do everything out here without brakes. But this is not a competition, right? Like, our rear brake gives us correction and control. Why would I ever take that away, right? And it's always going to be more correct. It's always going to be more control using the brake. It's going to smooth everything out, because when I'm going around in that circle brakeless, even if I'm doing this small versions, I still feel it. But if I keep my clutch in stage 2 and just drag my rear brake, nice and smooth. Now yesterday I kept asking people to drag the rear brake, and everybody kept doing this. So that's counterproductive to us being smooth. It's making the bike go like this. And you know, but again, that'll work out. This has its place and its purpose. But again, like I told them yesterday, once we pass exercise number 4, doesn't make sense to do it anymore. Okay? All right, so anyway, and then I'm going to go into a lean with the brake, still stage 2. Then I'm going to come to a smooth stop right in front of you guys. I'm going to put my foot on the ground, smooth. That's a goal. Then I'm going to pull the clutch in, and we're going to talk about that. Good? All right. First gear. Cover the rear brake. Preload. Clutch. Good. Stage 2, foot up. All right, let me turn around. All right, I'm going to keep the throttle loaded. Keep my clutch right where it is. I'm just using the brake. If I want to lean, come off the brake a little bit. Lean a little more. Sorry, Rob. Straighten out. I'm still in stage 2. No brake. So now I pull the clutch in a little bit, because I don't want to go fast. In, out. In, out. In, out. All right, rear brake. Friction brake, clutch, 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 clutch. Move, stop. Now, when I stop the motorcycle, my goal is to stop smoothly every time. Before I get into that, any questions about what you just saw? The whole time, everything you see me doing, my clutch hand never moved, except when I took my foot off the brake. Then I had to make like small adjustments. But other than that, I kept my clutch right where it is. So remember that, stage 2, rear brake. So if I tell you stage 2 rear brake, for instance, in a situation like this, you guys are right in front of me. I want to make this turn. I'm going to start with the handlebars turn. I'm going to do stage 2 rear brake. Why not stage 1? Stage 1 should work, but I want to make sure my bike stands up. I don't want it to, do anything I don't want it to do. 2 rear brake. And then I'm going to stay on the brake until I'm making this. As a matter of fact, I should be able to stay straight up looking at that chair. If not, I'll throw it into a lean. Options. First gear, cover the rear brake, preload. Stage 2, rear brake. I'm good. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Smooth stop. Now what if I wasn't using the rear brake? CJ, what would be the proper, how would I make this same turn with no rear brake if I'm using the stages of the friction zone? Stages of the friction zone. Anyone? 2 to 1. That's right. Because if I stay at 2, I'm going to be going too fast, and I won't be able to turn the bars like I want to. So I got to give that power, take it right back. But I'm not taking it all back. 2, 1. Unless I give a big 2. If I give a big 2, I might go 2 to 0. Handlebars turn, no rear brake. 2, 1. Friction brake, clutch, 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 clutch. So we're always, well, I can't say always, for the most part, we're giving and we're taking constantly. It's very rare that we're just giving and staying, except if you're making like a U-turn. Something like that where you need the power to be sustained, I'm going to stay in stage 2, drag the rear brake, and boom, just hold it right there. Okay, we good on all of that? What you got, Rob?
Yeah, well, can you talk about the throttle position for preload real quick?
Yes.
So some people.
Yes. So that's some people have an issue with keeping the throttle loaded, and I find that the first thing I want you to do is I want you to always be listening to what it sounds like, because that's your indication. I don't want you looking down at the RPMs, and if you don't know what it sounds like yet today, I want you to look at it, listen to what it sounds like, and then put your head and your eyes straight ahead and just listen to the sound. Over time, you'll understand what that sound is supposed to sound like. If you don't have that yet, what I find is when people grab the throttle, well, that ain't gonna help me, you got covers over it. They grab the throttle in a position that's comfortable for them. So if I ask you to preload it, now you're taking your wrist out of comfort. And if anything is not comfortable for you, it ain't gonna take much to go back to comfort. That's why half the stuff I'm gonna ask you guys to do today, you ain't gonna do it. Your comfort is gonna take over. You're gonna say, screw you, Rob, I'm gonna do this because this makes me feel better. Not be in our feelings, right? So what I tell people to do is to pronate their grip. Reach over it just a little. Don't do nothing crazy, just a little bit. Now this is not natural for you, but now when you roll the throttle, now you're in a natural position. And so you can kind of finagle that to see where it should be, and then boom, it's gonna be easier to hold it there. But I don't want you to say that's how I'm always gonna do it. If at some point I need you to be listening to what it sounds like and doing stuff according to that, okay? All right, any questions about any of that? That stage 2 thing, that's going to be relevant. Me holding it in stage 2 all day is going to be relevant, or 2 to 1. Okay, now he said drop and catch, and I know you guys don't know what drop and catch is. Drop and catch is really nothing but 2 rear brake or 2 to 1. And it's the same situation where sometimes, and this is something you're always doing, you're probably doing it right now too. If you're riding, I know you're doing it. Maybe not as extreme. Are you all familiar with exercise number 4, right turns, left turns from a stop? Who's not? Okay, it's basically a 90-degree turn, and it's my highest failure rate too. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But what I talked about earlier, with people with motorcycles, they want to turn and they wind up going the wrong way. A lot of that has to, I'm talking about doing it from a stop now. A lot of that has to do with too much clutch. Actually, that's the main reason. But if we want to make sure that the bike goes to the left, what we want to do is let the bike drop a little bit in that direction and catch it with the clutch. That's why we're always right before the friction zone. So I want the bike to go this way, but I don't want to lean. Then the cadence is drop catch. And it's so quick that when I show it in the video, I have to zoom it in and slow it down. So you can see my bike. I pick up my foot, my bike goes like this. That's it. Because I let it drop that way. It doesn't take a lot. I let it drop that way and I catch it. Because I don't want the bike to lean. Who here likes riding on gravel? Yeah. You like riding on gravel? Okay. You like turning on it too? Okay, then you don't like riding on gravel because everything is not about going straight. And that's the thing. Motorcycle riders like to go straight, make slight turns. We're not doing that today. Speaking of that, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to say what we are going to be doing today. Well, you already know. You're familiar with the channel. Right turns, left turns, U-turns, stopping, starting, going straight. That's what we're doing. That's the advanced training you're getting today. Now, if you go to a really advanced class, right turns, left turns, U-turns, going straight. It's the same stuff, right? Nothing's going to change as far as the techniques, okay? All right, so the drop catch is very quickly, and that's going to get me going where I want to go. If I need to go into a lean, then the cadence is drop, catch, depending on how much I want to lean the bike. The biggest issue is right turns because my left foot's down, the bike's leaning to the left, but I want to go right. That's a throw-in catch. So that means I'm looking this way, I got the handlebars turned, and if I want to throw the bike that way, Raphael, what am I going to use to throw the bike? Clutch? Nina? My weight? My foot. This foot that's down. Throw it. And again, it's just slight. Throw. But if I don't want the bike to lean, throw, catch. And now I'm good. And I got to make sure when I catch it, I don't catch it in stage 3. Because throw, catch. If it's too much clutch, I'm going to go that way. But the beauty of it is, even if I do that, what does the rear brake give us?
Correction and control.
Exactly. So in that case, that's a correction. I didn't mean to give it that much clutch. So as soon as I feel that's going to happen, brake. As soon as you hit your brake, your handlebars are going to go like this. All right? All right. In course by near that. Beautiful.